Hey guys, I don't know what you're doing right now, but make sure you subscribe. Now let's get into this video. I want to go back a little bit. I know you spent some time at Oregon, and recently we talk about the kid Dante Moore. Right, a lot of people was wondering whether he was going to come out this year.
Yeah.
Like, how do you assess that, dude? As being a quarterback, and are you surprised that he decided to go back to school? I mean, not many people. Also, people don't want to go play for the Jets neither. But not many people is going to turn down. The
projected first round,
top 3
No,
pick.
I get it.
It's a lot of cheese, man.
No, I wasn't surprised. I think for him, and obviously he had to talk to his people and obviously really reflect. And I thought it was the right decision, just reflecting on my own experience. And whenever you're 20, I don't know, was he 20 years old, 21?
Yeah, he's pretty young.
Especially from a quarterback perspective, there's so much that you just learn along the way. Like, not that he needed to learn. He's obviously very talented and was a first round talent and grade, but
those reps go along.
Yeah, like playing in a whole nother year of the same offense, or not the same offense, but playing in a whole nother year because I know his coach left, and learning the system, being around the guys, growing as a leader. Like, man, I feel like you don't even hit, like, you get like a second puberty when you hit 22 years old. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Especially as men, like as you get older, and quarterback specifically, my personal opinion, I feel like it's reflected all around the league, is like you don't hit your prime until you're in your 30s.
Yeah, that's true.
At least for the
quarterbacks,
like it's not like running back.
That's when they start going as two.
Right, because like you've been through so much mentally, and then physically, obviously, you're kind of maxed out, but you really get in your prime as a thrower, and how do you use your body in the most efficient way? And but I think for Dante, I think it's the right move, and it all happens. Everything happens for a reason. I think he's going to continue to get better and be that high draft pick again.
Yeah. So if you say, let's say that was you, right? Would you have came out? Would you have turned down if you were a top pick at Oregon? Would you have turned down?
but also factor in what you've been through. Throughout your college career.
Yeah. I think maybe you asked me at that time, and my white skinny ass back then, it probably was.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, like maybe, but like you said, knowing what I know now, no way. I think if you would have asked me, you can get drafted in the second round, you can go to the New Orleans Saints, but you got to, be a backup, be benched, break your bones 3 times, and not know if you're going to play again, and kind of get back on the hump and compete every single year. I would say, because there were so many lessons that were learned to where maybe you are drafted top 3 and you go to an organization, but then, you're out of the league in X amount of years. I think, and you're a testament of it is success is obviously measured in Super Bowls and longevity in the league. And when you combine those things, that's where you get, Hall of Fame level greatness. But for most of the guys, it's longevity. How do you stick around? How do you do that? And Double D is a prime example of it. And talking to him about his process, and it's been paramount.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So let's kind of piggy into this, the transfer situation and the NIL situation of college football. So it's a little bit chaotic. And I mean, I look at guys like you, right? That obviously you got hurt, and so we can understand why you transfer, right? But like some of these other dudes, right? Like it almost as if
transfer for money.
Money too. They bag chasing, but they don't necessarily want to compete. Anymore. Or am I wrong? Or
no, I don't think you're wrong. I think there's a lot. I mean, it's a lot easier. You go somewhere and you're like, hey, you're the starter, and we're gonna build around you. And I understand there's each circumstance is different, but like there's nothing you can't compare competing with a dude that's equal to you or a dude that's just as good. But how do you get that mental edge, and how do you like come out on top and continually grow and get better? Because you might tap into something you didn't know was there. And that was for me every single year in college, where you thought you knew something or you thought you were growing, and that was your mindset. That just hit a light bulb for me. Is like I'm constantly growing, like I'm constantly getting better.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can do that. And really, how your teammates feel about you. You come in and you just gifted the keys, and here's $5 million.
Yeah.
Then if you're not doing every little thing right, you're on your P's and Q's, then you start losing the trust of everybody. And I think you got to come about it naturally.
No, that's good to hear, man. I like your perspective, on that for sure.
So look, I want to ask you, bro. Like, do you think like the pay should play into like guys transferring?
What you mean, like,
because if I pay you $3-4 million and then you transfer to go get $4 or $5 million,
right?
Like, should they be like?
Should some of that money be?
Like should be like under a contract.
Like once we give you the money, we should be able to at least lock you in for the next 12 to 16 months.
Yeah, I think that kind of goes into a lot of these contractual negotiations with these teams as far as we might pay you up front, X amount of bread. Mm-hmm. But if you leave, then you got to pay it back, or we might give you this. Yeah. You got to be here for a certain amount of time. And that's where it kind of gets, iffy for a lot of guys. Well, you play here and you get hurt. Yeah. Some schools are going to not pay you, or they're going to try and not pay you. Right. But you're kind of obligated. So there's a lot of it's kind of sticky for me because like I'm a huge believer in NIL as far as just making money off your name and getting paid. And say you want to do a podcast, say you want to go game, say you want to go do an appearance, but like the university paying guys, and I think obviously it's happened for years, but I think it just kind of gets tough when it kind of goes like that way. But the way it's trending, I was like, why not just? It's basically semi-pro, right? Why not just? You should be able to find guys. Yeah. Hey, like we're gonna pay you this, like you said. If you transfer, or you leave, or you don't show up to meetings, right? You don't make weight, we're gonna fine you.
Yeah, absolutely.